What is up? Welcome back to the $1 Million Challenge, where I start off with $1. I'm trying to get 1% profit every single day until we get to $1 million. Right now, we're sitting on day 449 of this challenge with a total capital of $7,706. Since the last day, we had no sports bets for this day. We had $2 in bonuses between the different apps that I use and websites. And the only real change here was our crypto portfolio of Bitcoin and XRP went down about $16, and then our investment account went up $78. So a lot of good movement in the stock market. This is back from April 8th. So our 1% profit goal on our balance should be about $77. And since we already got some gains from the market, we only need to get $12.30 for the day to reach our 1% profit goal. So let's hop in the website, see if we can make $12.30. And let's get into it. All right, coming into the website here, I just want to show you guys our vault has $603. So we have that sitting in the vault. And then in our playable balance, we have $308, which is our 4% stop loss for the day. Today should hopefully be pretty easy. We need $12. I'm hoping this is like a super easy, quick, like low stress day. We don't have to risk the balance too much. But we're gonna be running our keto strategy we've been running for the past few episodes. I know this is probably getting a little bit old, but it works, and we're gonna stick with what works. So the way this works is you take your playable balance, you divide it by 4,000 to your base bet. So for me, that's gonna be 7 cents. Medium difficulty. Then we're gonna select 8 tiles here, just like that. And then on win, we're gonna increase by 0.5%. On loss, we'll increase by 0. And then your stop on profit and your stop on loss will be 100 times your base bet. So for me, that's $7. And that's pretty much it. We'll let this run. If this hits a $7 profit goal, it'll stop. If it hits a stop loss of $7, it'll stop. And if it wins, we'll just reset and redo everything. If it loses, we'll adjust the strategy and move on to the next progression. So there's a few progressions we'll go through, but I'll explain that once the time comes. I usually speed this part up, but I figured today I'll talk a little bit just because these videos will probably be a little bit shorter since I'm on vacation this week. And I think there's one more thing I wanted to say before I jump into that stuff. Oh, to the strategy. I know I've been running the same one for a handful of episodes. I know I get the same, pretty much a very consistent viewer base. I don't really get too many like new people. So I know a lot of you guys have seen this before. Again, it's not my strategy. The link in the description is the video that I pulled this from. I had one of the viewers on YouTube, Mr. Plum. He's the guy that recommended I try out this strategy. But yeah, this isn't mine. I just got this from someone else. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool that someone suggested this. It's been cooking. So shout out to that dude. But I know it's boring. I know it's kind of slow. And as I always say, man, with this challenge, we're trying to do everything we can to get profit, not necessarily the fun, like sexy, quick win type stuff that, you know, a lot of content creators do. I don't know. I don't know where I'm really going with that. My point is, though, I'd rather do a boring, slow strategy that works, makes profit consistently, than do some like fun, entertaining videos. I know you guys kind of get that vibe. I've seen in a lot of the comments. You guys like to watch the wins more than like the super fast-paced stuff, and that's my style, obviously. So just reiterating that. I know these get old, but that's kind of the game plan for me. If I wasn't recording this challenge, I would want a strategy that works very consistently, and I don't have to think a lot. Just kind of like do it every single day, quickly, get in, get out. And yeah, I don't want to like sit here for hours trying to make something happen, play a bunch of different games. You know, it's entertaining. I try to play games that are like mathematically smart, typically, like blackjack, baccarat, any games that have like a 99% RTP. When it comes to the gambling aspect, a bit with like the sports betting, the investing, that stuff's like super boring. But you know, that stuff goes on in the background, so I don't have to like really make content on it. But we're gonna increase this since it busted to 14 cents. We're gonna double up our base bet, go to high risk, select 2 more squares, and and then go to 0% on win, 1% on loss, and then increase this to 100 times the base bet and let it rip. But yeah, I mean, like the investing content, I can make some updates on that if there's like some big moves in the market, or I'm like changing the portfolio or investing money. Same with like the crypto, kind of the same thing. I'm not trying to be like a news channel for the market or crypto, even though I'm like pretty heavily into those spaces. I just don't want to be like the type of guy that's like posting about what's going on each week and like why the markets are moving. But I'll try to make content like when it's relevant to the challenge. What else? Yeah, sports betting, not really my gig. I just track volume bets on Instagram, as you guys know. There's a link to his page in my Discord server. So he's good at what he does. He does $1 million challenge too. He started with $1, and he's just been sports betting throughout his journey. But mine's a little bit different because I'm trying to use a bunch of different methods and just basically trying to get to $1 million without using any of my own money. So trying to use whatever method possible, and typically with like free money and ways to make it grow without really like working, because I don't want to have to like DoorDash and like add that to the bankroll or like have some sort of like income. The goal is like to not work and to make $1 million without using any of my own personal money. So that idea is pretty much like casino bonuses, gambling, sports betting, investing. Ideally, investing is like the super long-term strategy. I'm sure if you guys ever watch like any finance videos or do any like finance research, you probably heard of like the FIRE movement, which is financially independent, retire early. I believe that's what it stands for. But we're gonna double this up again. Go back to the medium strategy. Go back to 0.5%, 1% or 0%, and then 28. But it's kind of like the main goal of my challenge really is like, I mean, I do my own investing. I have like my own net worth, my own assets and everything outside of the challenge, obviously, like my own personal stuff. That's really the goal long term, like for me, is to save up a bunch of money. We got a bunch of wins there. We hit it 67. Probably. It's a huge jump. Yeah, it's kind of my goal, is just like save a ton of money, be able to like retire whenever I want, or just like have a huge investment portfolio that's making gains, dividends, just making growth every single year, almost like outpace my salary. So I'm trying to save a bunch of money in the background. Like that's like my personal goal. I try not to get like super personal with my videos. Sometimes I do, but that's like the dream. So this is kind of like my long shot, like a little side bet type thing. You know, I'm working, being disciplined, consistent, like personally in life. This is like a fun little side thing. If it works out, then I get to $1 million. Probably just use that $1 million and invest all of it, have it grow in the background for me personally. Maybe like I'll do something fun, create like new content or something. But we're almost at the profit goal here. If we can get a couple more wins, like pull through. But that's kind of the whole like origination of the challenge, is really just to like have a little side bet in the sense of like getting to $1 million, like for my personal wealth. So we'll see how it works. A couple other points I want to talk about though. The connections like in the community, I think it's like super cool. The guy that suggested the strategy, he told me to reach out, or he told me to check out this guy's YouTube channel. Separate guy. So like one of the viewers left a comment, said like, hey, check out this YouTuber. And I found the strategy from his comment. That was pretty cool. I get a lot of DMs. I talk to you guys a good bit in the DMs. I try to pop in like the Discord a lot. I try to be pretty active in there. So yeah, it's so crazy, man. Having conversations with a lot of people and like hear different stories and just hearing like people's like perspectives on the content. I think it's kind of weird if you don't make content, which I'm sure a lot of people like don't. But like each video, I see all the views. I see like the numbers, right? There's like 500 to 1,000 views per video, and it's like, wow, that's like pretty low numbers for YouTube. Then you like really think about it, and you're like, dang, that's 500 to 1,000 people that are watching your video, which is pretty nuts. And I really don't think about that too much. It's like, I don't know how to like describe it really, but it's pretty crazy to think about. And a lot of people like reach out to me, a lot of comments on YouTube, a lot of DMs on Discord and stuff. I try to be like super open. I usually respond to everyone, try to at least. But yeah, it's pretty wild, man. And everyone's like such a good person. It's just like unbelievable. Internet's like super, you know how the internet is. The internet's pretty harsh sometimes, but I don't know. I think we've built a pretty good community. Everyone's super friendly and helpful in our server, the Discord server. Everyone's kind of there for each other, helps each other out. Yeah, just a lot of good people. It's pretty sick. So I'm really happy about that. Hope you guys are too. And then another big thing I want to talk about too is the challenge coming up, community challenge. We did a bracket challenge back in, I think like July. I talked about this a couple times recently, but it's gonna be starting soon. Probably like mid to late May. I might start it, or at least like that would be the deadline to submit strategies. But I'll have more information on that in my Discord server. So if you're not in there, join the Discord server, and I'll probably make a YouTube post or like maybe like a video on it or something, just so the YouTube people know about it, because I know there's a bigger community on YouTube. But it will, honestly, most of it will take place in the Discord. So if you don't have Discord, join the Discord server, create one, join the server. Basically, it's gonna be elimination style. So last time we did a bracket, it was like a 1v1 for each strategy, and like the winning strategy moved on to the next round. This time, what I'm gonna do is just anyone can submit anything. It's open to anyone that joins the server. You can submit any strategy you want. I'm gonna run all of them, so it'll probably be like a longer challenge. But say I get like 50 strategies, I'm gonna run every single strategy as long as it's like reasonable, and then it's an elimination. So I'll run all 50. Whatever ones lose are out, and then whatever ones win, move on to the next round. So say 30 win, 20 lose. The next round would be all the 30 winners going against, not really against each other, but just like whoever keeps winning keeps moving on. So the strategy that has the most consistent wins ends up being like the last winning strategy, and then I'll pay them out a cash prize. We'll do some sort of reward for whoever has the longest lasting profitable strategy. And the main reason I'm doing that is kind of like what I'm doing here. I'm running this strategy for like maybe 6 or 7 videos now. I want to find strategies that are profitable, that work, that do well, win consistently, and then I can share them with you guys. You guys can find them, see them, and you don't have to test them on your own. It's just a fun way of like getting the community involved and having everyone have a chance of winning something and trying to help each other out, because I can like run, you know, however many strategies are submitted, I can run a bunch of them on camera, record them, show the outcomes, and then people can learn from that, what does work, what doesn't work. It's kind of the idea. Looks like we're about to bust here though, and we did. Okay, so we're gonna go up to a 56-cent bet, starting it pretty high. We're gonna go to high risk, do 10 boxes, and then go to 0, 1%, 56, and 56. And we will run it. So the bet size will get really big here. We're starting off with 56 cents. Every time we get a loss, it goes up 1%. So you'll see the bet amount up here goes up really fast. Last thing I want to talk about though, last thing on the challenge, join the Discord server, get in there. I'll show the details in there. They'll get probably faster, quicker, more detailed updates than YouTube will. So if you want to be in on that, have a chance to win some money, join the Discord and you'll be able to enter the challenge that way. The last thing I was thinking about, just kind of spitballing some ideas out here, some updates coming up, but I was thinking about doing some live streams. I left a YouTube post and I talked to people in the Discord server about it, that I was thinking about doing live streams on some sort of platform, but really just a way of like having a live conversation with you guys if you're interested in that. It seemed like there was pretty good feedback, pretty good interest from the YouTube and the Discord communities. Starting to get some pretty big wins here. Bet size up to 160. So we're kind of get sketchy. Trying to keep an eye on this while I talk, but yeah, it seemed like there was pretty good interest in it, and starting to dip. This is so addicting, just like watching this profit go up and down, the bet size adjust. Starts to get really volatile though as the bets get bigger. But yeah, back to the live stream. I was thinking about doing that as a way to have like an open live conversation with a lot of people, just because I get a lot of comments, a lot of DMs on Discord, a lot of like like open chat conversations like within the whole community, that I get like private DMs, just talking about like ideas for the challenge. There's profit right there. $21.83. We had an 8x on a $3.10 bet, and that happened twice. We just did that twice in a row. Pretty sick. Nice. All right, we're gonna enter that in the sheet, and then we'll move on to the next day. All right, so day 449 was a win. We hit, we got $19.78 in profit on the website. I think it's a little bit off from the actual number, but either way, we went up 1.1% on the day. So it's a little bit above our profit goal. We need $12.30 to reach our 1% profit goal of $77. So good day right there. We'll take that. And moving on to the next day here, day 450, we're sitting at $7,799. We had one sports bet for the day. We had a futures bet payout. This is back from April 9th, 2026. This is when the bet paid out, but we made $9.25 there. So pretty good day right there. A little boost to the bankroll. And then other than that, we had $14 in bonuses between all the different websites and casino apps that I use. And then Bitcoin went up like $22, or Bitcoin and XRP went up $22. Then our investment portfolio went up another like $18. Sorry, $28. No, $18. Yeah, so we had some good profits going into the day here. So 1% profit goal on the day should be $78. But since we had a lot of good movement, we only need to get $4 on the website today to reach our 1% profit goal of $78 for the day. So we're gonna hop on the website and see if we can make $4. All right, coming back into the website here, we're gonna vault $15.78. $15.78. And that will bring us to our 4% stop loss of $312. We're gonna reset the strategy back to what we were doing. I think I'm just gonna run this honestly for another day. Even though we need $4, I think I'm just gonna keep running this, dude. It's working, bro. It's working. So we're gonna reset everything back here. We have 8 boxes selected, 0.5% increase on win, 0% on loss, $7 in profit or on loss. Okay. And let's reset the live stats here and we'll get started. So back to the live streams real quick. Hopefully I can get this in before this finishes. But yeah, I was just thinking about doing something like live where I could like, get feedback, comments, discussions, like realistically, like real time. That's like the whole idea with the live streams. And really what I probably would be doing mostly is just like answering questions, maybe doing research, like live sharing my screen. Because a lot of the questions or suggestions I get from all of you, I do research them. I'll use AI, I'll do my own like Google research, I'll put some effort into it. So I was thinking stuff like that, maybe I could like do live and just kind of like chat with you guys. Super chill, super low key. That's kind of the idea. Yeah, I guess really just do research, talk about the challenge. I don't know if there's any interest in that though. Maybe I'll get that going in the next like month or so once I'm back from vacation. I was thinking about doing like this type of stuff on a live stream where I actually like play a day of content, which I might do, but not right away. I think I'll probably ease into that. That would be an idea too, just to like get like live suggestions on like what strategies to do, what games to play. I think that could be fun. But I want to document everything, so I would probably convert that live stream into like a YouTube video. But yeah, if there's any interest in that, we're almost at the profit goal. Let me know though. Let me know. I'm down for whatever. I'm trying to get a little bit more personable. Trying to get a little bit more better with like progressing the channel challenge. Just trying to expand a little bit and work on some things for the better. So that's gonna be pretty much it. I might just speed this up from here. See if we can hit the profit. I guess really I could actually just stop this. Yeah, we already hit $4. We just need $4. We already got it, so I can just stop it there. We got $4.60. I'm gonna enter that in the sheet, and then we'll wrap up the video. Day 450 was a win. We got $4.60 profit on the website, so we hit our 1% profit goal. And pretty good episode, guys. We'll take that all day. We had 2 winning days here. Overall in the video, we went up a total of $98 between 2 days. So definitely a good episode. We'll definitely take that. So out of that $98, 24 of that was from gambling today. And then we had about $16 in bonuses and I think $9 in sports bets that paid out. So pretty much the rest of the movement there was from investments in crypto. And then just coming down to our graph here, this is where we're sitting, looking pretty good as we're shooting up here, skyrocketing. We'll definitely take that. Then here's just some other stats of our total sports bets for not the whole challenge, just from the month of April here going forward. Tracking our sports bets, how much we actually profited, all of our basis, our win rate, and our total bonuses claimed. So that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you learned something today or just enjoyed some content. But leave a comment with any thoughts or suggestions below. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, join the Discord server if you're already in there. And until next time, don't gamble. It's a losing game in the long run. And invest your money, do something smart with it, save it, don't gamble it. But until next time, take care of yourself. I'll see you guys in the next episode. All right, peace.